Hi, this is Stephen with Fairs Management Interactive, and today we have a request from one of our customers to learn how to drop a small grouping of cafe tables onto their overall plan. Now, one thing we know about our booth groups or our icon groups is that we call them pods, and that every piece of the layout is made up of a pod or groups of pods. Now, the challenge here is that we're going to try to keep track of something real small, this small group of cafe tables, on our large overall plan. One of the ways we trick it is to make what we call a minimal pod as a placeholder. So I'm going to go up here to the booth pod control and make a minimal pod. One booth in a row. I'm going to make the booth very large so that we can spot it easily. I'm going to hit New, and you can see that it sets it up there in the upper left hand corner. So when there's no pod activated already on the drawing, it puts it up in the left hand corner. But if there is an active pod, it puts it just to the right of it. So we're going to drag this minimal pod down close to where we want our layout, and now it's a placeholder, and we know that the next pod we create will go just to the right of it. Now, in order to make the cafe tables, instead of a square for a booth, we're going to make it a round table. We do that by going down to our single booth control, our advanced controls, and we have a list of icons. And we take our drop down list and we scroll down until we find round tables. There it is up there. Now we have round table and we have round table with numbers. Round table with numbers is typically used with banquet halls, but right now we only want the round table plain. So we've hit that. That's going to be our next active shape for when we create a pod. Now, in terms of creating the pod, we know that they're 4-foot cafe tables. Even though they're round, we have to make them 4 by 4, and we're going to really just take a guess. We're going to say 4 booths in a row, and booths being tables in this case, and 4 aisles. Now, the next step is, instead of the width of aisles, we're going to go to our advanced control for the booth pod control, and we're going to click on the stagger button, which creates that X pattern for table setups that we're familiar with, and we're going to create a separation. We're going to go ahead and make it 3 by 3. Now, this isn't a specific distance, it's relative to the dimension size of the object we're creating with a pod, and we're going to hit OK. So now when we go and make our pods, our next pod, our new, it should go to the right of it, and there it is. So now we're going to zoom in, and we're going to scroll. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom in one more time and scroll one more time, maybe twice. So now we see how the pod of cafe tables was placed to the right, and we use this large minimal pod as a spotter for that small object. Now we're going to go ahead and click on that placeholder pod, and we're going to delete it in the booth pod control. And we knew we were just guessing, so we're going to drag this over close to where this was spotted along that lane, and we know that it's a little bit too big and it's a little too short, so we'll just pull it out of the way. We know that the next pod we create will go to the right of it, so we go back to our control, and we're going to go ahead and make it 3 booths in a row, and we're going to make it 8 aisles, and we're going to hit New again, and we're going to drag that down for our cafe layout. We're going to go back up to the first guess, and we're going to click on it to make it active, and we're going to delete it. And there we go, yes. Now, we're going to zoom up a little more on this cafe. And just so you know, this pod can be edited like any other booth layout. So if we wanted to make a walkthrough aisle, we would click a table in this case, we would delete it. We would click another table and we would delete it. And then if we wanted to move a booth in a different position, say if we had a greeter at the entrance to this cafe, we may want to move this booth here. Now remember, we have to have the single booth control or single booth move clicked first in order to be able to move that. So now there you are, and the next step of course is to save it to your personal folder. So you would want to go Files, go to your personal folder, save it, and then you would create a date and a file name and of course the background that it's been created on. So there you go. Please review the lessons that we've posted online, and please write or call and we'll put a video up for you helping you get through the Fairs Management Interactive tools. Thank you.